All right. Wiggity wiggity. What's up, dude bros? It's me, Rebel Fresh. Back at it with some more TTI League. Top Cut. We got top 16 today. And we got some really interesting decks here. We got Lev and VIka playing. Lev is on Hondo Blue, and VIka is on Bossk with ACL. And I'm just getting the word out about the stream. Where's the channel? There we go. Boom. I believe VIka played his top 24 game just this morning and ended up winning against Wei Yun, and now he's back again for some top 16 gameplay. Let's see. All right. So here's the bracket right now. I believe this is current. Yep. So we have got 3 matches left in the top 16. We got Ferrex versus I'm So Humble. They're going to be playing tomorrow at 10:30 Pacific. We got this match, and that is it. Yeah, all the top 24 games are done, and these are the only ones top 16 remaining. Jonah and Cody, I don't believe they have their game scheduled yet, but yeah. We got some really interesting decks played this month. We got a Churret Blue in the top 8. We got a Cad Bane Red. We're gonna have one of these two. We got Han Green, both flavors of it. We got Boba Green. Let's take a look at the deck list while the players get ready. This is Lev's Hondo deck. It is, I think it's a few cards off from the one that that George the Hulk took second place with at the Tampa event a couple weeks ago. But it's pretty solid. He's on. I mean, this looks like this is pretty standard of where Hondo is at this moment. For those of you that haven't necessarily been following the development of the deck, and for those that haven't seen this before, it is gonna look weird. But you might think like, oh my god, what does Hondo do? So Hondo, whenever you play something with Smuggle, you can exhaust him to give an experience token. And when he's on the leader side, he has the same ability, except you don't have to exhaust him. It's just whenever you play something with Smuggle, give it experience. He is 3/7 with raid 1 normally, and he comes out on 6. Basically, he just makes all the Smuggle things better. And Smuggle is just an inherently really good mechanic because basically it turns every card into a +1, because it's basically, you can think of it as drawing a card if you are playing it out of your resource round state of your hand. So you're trying to use like all the value Smuggle cards to just get a bunch of card advantage. Play things like Lawn Pikes, Star Hoppers, Vigilant Pursuit Craft. He's not running a bunch of the other random Smuggle cards like Sugi or Weequay Pirates or the Pirate Battle Tank, but you don't need to be. With the extra card advantage you get, you can play Commander Childson or Lieutenant Childson and then get a bunch of experience. And then as you go into the end game, you have like Snoke basically is the win con in the main deck and Avengers in the sideboard. And this is VIka's Bossk deck, and it's fairly old. It's actually kind of a mid-range between what all right, they're actually about ready to get going. But yeah, this is VIka's deck. I think you guys have probably seen a Bossk deck before. He's on looks like 6 ramp cards. He's on resupplies. He's on Palpatine's Vaders. He's got some bigger stuff in the sideboard. Ruthless Raiders. He's on 3 IG-11, 3 Django, which is, I guess, not everyone is running those, but I think most people are. All right. Best of luck, everyone. My money is on Lev to win this thing and probably the whole tournament. I don't know about probably, but I think I think he has a good shot to win the whole tournament, and I think he is favored in this matchup. But it's, nothing's free, and VIka can definitely he's a good player, and if anyone can win this matchup, even when it's unfavorable, it's him. All right, this is an interesting hand for Lev here. He's got the Pike Sentinel, which is a pretty strong open here, and he's got Collection Star Hopper for turn 2, or potentially Covert Strength. Both those are good plays here. He's got some Sentinels for later. I didn't draw Childson, which does hurt a little bit. But he's got a couple more chances to draw that. On VIka's end, VIka got, it looks like his only turn 1 play is Dengar here, which is not going to line up very well into Pike Sentinel. He didn't get a bounty to turn the Bossk online. He does have a ramp card or a Toro Calcan for next turn, so we'll see which way he ends up wanting to go. There's a Pike. I think VIka might just not even want to play the Dengar here if it's just going to get eaten. And he does not. And we're moving on. No Childson picked up. I did pick up another green card. You do want to pay attention to like the green-blue balance in your hand for Childson. I mean, having 3 blues is fine. You want to get to 4 if you can, but you can't always. So no, VIka's got a couple of plays he can make here. He can go for like Price on your head and then Dengar. Or he could go for just one of his 3s. It looks like he's going for a 3, and it is the Super Laser. And I imagine we're going to see one of the Star Hoppers come down for Lev. Yep. Probably just going to buff that Pike. Yep. So those that aren't familiar, that's Hondo's ability. When you play a card with Smuggle, you can exhaust him to give someone an experience. So he's playing the Star Hopper with Smuggle and giving the Pike the experience. And there we go. There's a Childson. So I imagine we're just going to see one of those Timelies go. And now we're going to see a 5/5 Childson. And that is, that could be pretty strong. Although VIka does have ways to deal with it. And it's not like the worst because the Pike Sentinel is already up and it's a Sentinel. So you don't necessarily even have to attack into it. But it is just a big unit that you can play. All right, there we go. There's Super Laser. And we're actually not even going to go for the Childson, just going for Covert Strength out of the resource row. And that's actually going to be pretty insane. So it's going to be 2 experience tokens onto the Pike and heal it full. So now it is a 5/6, bigger than Childson would have been with Sentinel. VIka does have, Bossk flip into Barrage, which does answer it. Or even just play bounty ping with Bossk and then attack with Bossk. It looks like he is going for the price in your head here. Boom. Pike hitting for 5. Bossk hits it for 1. So the Pike's got 5 health left. Oh wait, that actually doesn't do it through. Oh, he can go Dengar, guild target, Bossk attack. That does get you there. Right? Yeah. And then he gets to double trigger both these bounties. Guild target, I believe, is the one that does damage to base, if I'm remembering correctly. But then next turn he's gonna have to fight through this Childson, which I mean he'll be able to with the barrage. So VIka's actually in a pretty strong position here. I think Lev at this point would really like to see a barrage of his own. So now VIka's gonna get to double ramp off the price in your head, which is just about, you know, all the ramp he could ever need. He's in main deck his only like really expensive cards are like Vaders and Palpatines. Guild target, that's the one that does damage, right? Deal 2 damage to base. If it's unique, deal 3. So just gonna do 4 to base. Should be 4. Am I wrong? Oh, I just had to check Bossk. Bossk, actually, you can only use that the double thing once per round, so you don't get both the bounties doubled. You only get one of them. All right. So I think we're gonna see Timely Childson here, which plays around the barrage. Oh, potentially. Oh, Timely Pike also. So Timely, and the Timely came out of the resource row. Okay. Or did it? Yeah, all right. Yes, Timely must have come out of the resource route because he gave the experience. I wasn't looking for a second to see if he resourced it or not. But yeah, so Timely came out of the resource row, gave the experience at the Star Hopper. In Lev's done a lot of damage here. He's managed to out most of VIka's stuff. VIka does have, you know, he does have enough stuff to come back into the game here. But this Childson is going to start locking things down. The Hondo flipping next turn is going to start allowing Lev to push damage to the base. Lev's in a really good spot here. Barrage here does, like, it clears the Star Hopper and it lets you reset the punishing one, but VIka just has so little damage on the base that it, Lev can pretty safely ignore it. At this point, I mean, VIka's drawing 2 cards a turn, so he can definitely come back here. timely for Childson. Yep. And that is going to be a 6-6 Childson. Or 7-7 actually, because of the Hondo. Showing here the Inferno 4, the 2 Sentinels, and the power here. And here's Hondo, the Hon Daddy, making impact with the board. Toro coming down here, but Toro, I mean, let's see. Oh, VIka actually still has the ECL online. So he could potentially clear Childson this turn. He is gonna go Childson or ECL for Django. Django tagging, yeah. So Django's just gonna go and do 3 with the Realm reset Toro. So VIka gets to clear the Childson, but he loses everything in the process. Oh, it actually does get to reset the punishing one here, which is going to allow him to push some more to the base. VIka or Lev picks up a covert strength here, which can add 2 power to this. Hondo. He also has a Maul online. VIka picks up Ruthless Raider and Django here. Django is actually fairly resistant to the Maul. I mean, he obviously dies to Maul, but he doesn't. He only takes 1 overwhelm. But I think we're almost done here. Lev's actually in a position where he can just claim and straight up win. And VIka claims here. And okay, VIka picks up the Vader, which it does give him a chance here. Not much of one with the Maul on board, but or in hand, sorry. And that's game. Lev taking it down in game 1. Should I say stealing game 1? Pirates. All right. VIka's hand was not great there, so we'll see if he has better luck in the second game. Let's take a look at the sideboards here. VIka has a bunch of stuff, I think, for these grindy games. Death Marks to help him get more cards, resupplied for more ramp, and Devastators and Crate Dragons here for just big things to play. So, I mean, VIka does not have a ton of 2-drops. He's mainly relying on getting. He can get either like Kylo's High Silencer or bounties. Those are pretty much his turn 1 plays. He doesn't have a ton of 2-drop units. He's got a lot of 3-drop units in there. So, yeah, I think we might see almost everything in the board come in for VIka. I don't know what goes out, but I think a lot of that is coming in. And then on Lev's side, He's got Avengers and Super Laser Blasts and Rivals Falls. He's got the third Barrage, 2 Fel the Dragon, 1 Vigilance. I imagine we're going to see Fel the Dragon here, if just for the crate dragons that he knows that are in VIka sideboard. I imagine we'll see Avengers. I don't know if we see the Blast come in. I don't think we see the Rivals Fall come in. Maybe he brings in the third Vigilance. I don't know. And I don't know about the third Barrage. In this matchup, I think you probably expect to be losing a lot of units. So I don't know if Barrage is as consistent. But things are going basically how I expected them to. I did say Lev or had the advantage there, and it looks like they're shuffling up for game 2. And we already see Avenger in Lev's hand, and we see Deathmark in VIKA's. 2 copies. Let's see. You guys are seeing the correct thing on stream, right? Yes. Okay. This is not a great hand for for Lev, needless to say. He's considering keeping it. There's no way I'm keeping this hand. Covert Strike with no units used on for 2 rounds. Yeah, there's just no way. I guess like Power of the Dark Side is a pretty good card, but unless he already mulliganed, but I don't think he did. Yeah. All right, and it looks like VIka kept the Deathmark. Kept one of them anyway. All right, this is an interesting hand for Lev. He's got Star Hopper as the turn 1 play, but he's not going to use it. He's just going to pass. We're going into round 2. Crate Dragon there for VIka. I mean, yeah, like if you're Lev, you don't really need to play units here, and you kind of don't wanna. If VIka said he would have gone second here, but I don't think it would have mattered because Lev would have just opened pass, and then VIka would have. I guess like he could have like used the Bossk, but Lev was just gonna take initiative the next action anyway. So it wouldn't have mattered. VIka does have a play here in the Super Laser. Lev is going to open pass here. See Super Laser here, and we're going to see an Inferno 4 out of the hand. All right, moving on. VIKA's got double Crate Dragons in hand. He can start playing Deathmark on this Inferno 4, but he doesn't actually have a way to kill it this turn. He's got Django, which, I mean, Django is a good pickup if Lev had ground units to play things on. Lev's got a couple of plays he can make here. We know he's got the Star Hopper in the Resource Row. We know he's got a Timely Intervention, I believe, as well. And I think maybe 2 copies of Timely. I don't think he's getting Timely here right now. I think he's got actually 2 Long Pikes in there. I imagine we'll see Star Hopper actually out of the Resource Row. VIka, it looks like VIka might just be going for a hard cast Django. That's not a bad move. And there's a trademark VIka. I don't think we've had VIka in a top cut for a while, so we haven't seen the But that is a classic VIka move there. Yep, there's the hardcast Django. And there's the Star Hopper. Hondo gives the XP to the Inferno 4. It's Super Laser just gonna hit base. This is one of the weird things about running Energy Conversion Lab in the stack is that this deck is like in an aggro deck it makes sense because you can use it to just deal damage. In a control deck, it makes sense because you can use it to control the board. But in this like sort of mid-range thing, it puts you at a disadvantage against control where so VIka's deck is trying to be like half control, half aggro. And it puts him in a weird spot because he's down early in damage. And he's not like, it's not like using it to control the board is super impactful. Although, let's see, VIka does have a pretty good play here. I think he's going to be able to double ramp. So I think what we're going to see is price in your head onto one of these ships and then ECL the Kylo's Tie to kill it. As he's deciding which one he wants to go onto because theoretically he can get to Inferno 4, but it's not guaranteed. All right, and we're going to see actually the Bossk flip right now. Lev's hand is awkward. He's got a lot of expensive things. He does have some plays that he can make. We know he's got Lawn Pikes in the board as well, but I mean, just playing a Lawn Pike into this board is not incredible. I think VIka is holding out hope that Lev is going to play a ground unit here. Which we might see happen. Lev's looking at his resources. We know he's got the Lawn Pikes back there. But at the same time, like Lev also sees the board. He knows that Lawn Pike would not be doing much if it did come out. His other play is like Pike Sentinel or like Power of the Dark Side. Dark Side isn't great here because it just kills the Super Laser. Oh, he's another Star Hopper. That's a solid play here. That Inferno 4 now 4-5. I'm doing my math right. We should be able to see Crate Dragon online next turn, which would be big. because he's going to double ramp with the price in your head, which takes him up to 7. Then he's going to ramp normally next turn, which puts him up to 8, and then he's got Super Laser, which could put him to 9. He does actually have to trigger the Super Laser, but it's the Hondo flip turn, so I imagine that's going to happen. Yep. And there's the ECL. Boom, boom. And okay, and it looks like Lev actually just playing out this Pike Sentinel. I mean, it does present a dilemma for VIka. He can be efficient and kill it with the Django, but not get his Super Laser, or he can be inefficient and get the Super Laser. It looks like he is going to be a bit inefficient and get the Super Laser. And now we're going into 6 resources. That Django should take 2 there. I think it's late for VIka and early for Lev, so the mistakes are understandable. And VIka, yeah, now Crate Dragon is just fully online. And Lev knows what's about to happen. He doesn't have an out to the Crate Dragon. He's 3 resources behind. He can flip Hondo here, but he isn't going to end up doing much. There's Hondo. And Crate. Are you talking about how VIka got an extra card in hand? Yeah, that's that was from the Django. So Hondo is gonna go in and clear this Django. Nothing in hand that deals with it. No Felt the Dragon. Power of the Dark Side theoretically isn't out, but he has to get past the Bossk first to make it so. He's a Super Laser Blast, which does deal with it at a heavy price, but it's not going to be online yet. I'm trying to think, like, so you have anything else in like the sideboard that could deal with it, or in the resource row? Sorry, I don't know. Like, he could timely intervention something theoretically, but he's got to get he has to have, he has to get 10 damage here, and he just doesn't have anything that does it. And then VIka can just play another one next turn. Negative 50 IQ move by me, I think. Maybe. I don't know what else he could have done here. She's gonna power the dark side. I guess that clears Boba. And what's the crate gonna do? Crate's just gonna go to base. So let's see. So Lev can actually out it with the Maul plus a Hondo attack, but he takes 7 to base, and that plus the Crate Dragon attack to base is lethal. So his hope here, I guess, is that Crate attacks the Hondo, so then he can like Maul and then survive. Oh, you top deck Rival's Fall here, which also does out the Crate and does let him survive no matter what here. But I don't think he can deal with the second one at all. And Bossk double ramps, it gets wild. Yep. He doesn't always ramp, but when he does, he does it epic style. All right. 10 resources for VIka here. You can play the second crate, you can play Ruthless Raider, Devastator, any number of things that can just end the game. Let's see. Is there a potential that Lev can sneak it through just on damage? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or Lev actually does have lethal on board. Technically. Between all these guys attacking, he can get there. Devastator would shut that down pretty quick, but it does leave the crate vulnerable to something. Crate into Hondo also messes things up. VIka's gonna go to base here. So now we'll see if Lev can find a way to sneak it through. There are ways to do it. So VIka now has to answer one of these guys, and he can do it with Devastator, or he can do it with Ruthless Raider. Also does take down. Oh wait, I think all right. So Devastator's gonna come down, and Devastator can knock out any of these guys. Oh wait, did Lev just scoop there? Lev had it. Wait, Lev had it. Did he not realize that he had it? Wait, Lev should have won there. So, oh wait. Unless if he targeted Hondo with the Devastator, then it was over because of the Rival's Fall. If you target Inferno for it, then yeah, VIka got it. But if the target was Hondo, then Lev should have gone Rivals Fall. He would have gone to 29 on base, which is one less than 30. He would have killed the Devastator, and then he would have been able to attack for game with his 2 ships. Okay, but I guess we'll go to game 3. I'm gonna take a look at the list again while they decide. I don't know, like, I don't know if there's anything that you would want, like, game 3 that you wouldn't already have for game 2. But that's Lev's list, and here's VIka's. If you want to look at these anytime yourself, you can go ahead in the description. There's a link to them on Substack. It's just got all the lists for the tournament, and you can see the bracket as well. Let's take a look at that bracket. Winner of this gets to play 2 Moons, who is on Cad Bane Red. Sure to be a fun matchup, and it looks like we're getting started. All right, and VIka's got the ramp again. Price in your head and super laser tech. And Lev's got 4 blue cards in here, which no Childson, but if he does draw one, it'll be big, I think. And here comes Pike Sentinel. Gonna be met with a price in your head. And the Bossk ping. That means that the Pike at this moment would actually die to a super laser attack. This is an interesting resource choice. I don't know what you go for. It looks like he's gonna resource the barrage. Makes sense. It's, you know, not a ton of places where it's super online here. If I'm VIka, I'm probably just gonna Bossk here. Oh, he's actually gonna use the ECL to take out that Pike before anything crazy happens and double ramp. If VIka does decide to flip Bossk here, he's gonna run into this power. And he's not going to make that mistake. VIka's got a couple units he can play here as power blockers. And here comes the Kylo Silencer. And it's just going to give him by takedown. Crucially, Lev has the Fell the Dragon in hand, so he's not going to get wrecked by Crate as hard, most likely. Star Harper going into the resource row. Although at this point in time, like, Lev's hand is kind of awkward here. He can deal with one of these units with power. He could potentially play. We know he's got Long Pike in the resource row. We know he's got Looks like we're just gonna see power here, yeah. Gonna deal with this punishing one. VIka can't really punish that too hard. He can bring in Django, but Django's not doing much with no units on board. Lev picks up the Super Commando squad, which is pretty solid in this situation. It can block off at least one attack, or potentially the this one is most likely just going to meet the Palpatine trigger. Let's take a look at Django here. We're actually just gonna see Hondo flipped up here. Don't know why I said it like that. Palpatine here, I mean, just doing 6 damage to him is not bad. The Super Commando follow-up to that is pretty strong, though. And there he is. If you're Lev here, you really want to avoid like being behind when the Crate Dragon comes out. And at this point, like even the Super Commando is probably one of the better things you can do to avoid that. Maybe I don't know what else he might have in plan. Maybe he's timely Long Pike. The Long Pike hits for 5. I mean that. This is an okay attack here. Long Pike is not strong enough to kill any of these, even with the Hondo experience. Going into Bossk. And is the damage going to the Bossk or the shield? Is he gonna do the shield? Okay, so he's gonna shield Django, block that damage. And give a shield. Oh, give a shield to Hondo. Okay, that makes a bit more sense than give the experience to Hondo. Interesting. That lets Hondo clear the Bossk. The Bossk is still gonna get damage into base here. And Hondo does clear the Bossk. Django can now take either of these guys out for free and draw a card in the process. And yeah, it's just gonna be Hondo. No bounties, no room, and I beg to resupply. It's not the most relevant card right now. But I think VIka's just far enough ahead that it might not matter. Let's see. Lev has a Maul for next turn, which is actually a pretty good play here. VIka's play is likely to just be this Crate Dragon. So I mean, Lev has a window to come back here. And it is going to be the Maul. And the Maul is actually just going to go into the Palpatine. That is going to be one overwhelm. So going 1-for-1 instead of 2-for-1, but he's saving some more damage. If Jango wants this Lom, he can get him and draw a card in the process. Ooh, that's a pretty long from VIka. He's really thinking about this one. His other play is like he can go Bounty Hunter's Quarry here, which is pretty strong. Quarry plus Palpatine, and then he can theoretically Jango attack base. Is not bad. Looks like Jango's just gonna go into base here. If I'm Lev, I think I'm just suiciding this Lampike here to make the Jango die to Snoke. Not even just Snoke, it also dies to like a time lead client. And there's the crate. Lev does have the answer to it this time in the fell, but he is at 15 damage. That's a lot. I wonder if letting Maul die versus killing Pike was correct there. I think there definitely is an argument for letting the Maul die there. Just because you're saving the extra damage on base. Like 3 damage on base here matters actually a great deal. So we're gonna see client in that. That's actually one of the things that allows Lev to get back into this game. From this point, like, so VIka is probably going to be able to, yeah, he's just going to Death Mark, then Bossk, and then Palpatine, and that clears client and gets him 2 more cards. We'll see if he gets another Crate Dragon. Okay, he's got some pretty good stuff here. The Ruthless Raider is going to be big. Lev has here, he's got Childson. But, all right, here comes Snoke, which is going to kill that Jango. VIka can just go Devastator and clear Snoke. I think VIka's going to get this one, actually. He's going to go Devastator, and then next turn he goes Ruthless Raider. And that plus the Palpatine attack this turn is going to be able to get it basically no matter what. And Lev just scoops. He could have drawn yeah, no, he wasn't quite out of it yet, but he was mostly out of it. Wow. Good games. Those are some good ones. My bracket is totally busted now, but yeah. If that, if Lev really did miss lethal on that second one, he's gonna be kicking himself. I'm still not entirely sure what exactly happened in that at the end of that second game, but oof. All right. Second, third games lined up well for my hand. Yeah. VIka was able to triple ramp the second game. I think he only got double the third game, but Yeah, being able to get out ahead of this Hondo deck that doesn't play any ramp cards of its own is really big. I typically run ramp in my Hondo. I was actually just having a discussion earlier today in the Hondo channel in the KTOD Discord. But I do think it's right to run at least a few ramp cards in Hondo, even though it doesn't always mesh with your game plan. But I think there are some matchups in which you just want it just because it's that important. And this would be one of them, I think. But the Hondo deck doesn't even, I mean, I don't know. If you get far enough behind, you can just lose sometimes. And that's the power of this Bossk deck is just being able to do those crazy ramp plays. All right, thank you everyone for tuning in. I have a paper to write and it's due in 2 hours, so I got to go work on that. And of course, remember